Hello gorgeous people, how are you all doing today? I hope you are well. Oh gosh, I need a bit of water already. Just sat down, it feels like for the first time today. It's just gone 8 p.m, hence the lighting, it's just the top lights. Honestly, this place has been like a madhouse for the last few days with comings and goings, but it's all, yeah, it's a lovely, 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 happy madhouse. But it is just a little bit, I feel like I'm meeting myself in the hallway every few minutes. The reason I'm like, now is because I've just had my first ever food delivery. More of that in a second. But just before I get onto that, I want to say a couple of thank yous. And this is a thank you to me. This really cute card from Ailsa and Co. The title of the card is called Headwind by D. Nickerson, who is an artist that lives and works out of East Anglia. There's a lovely description on the back of how her work is influenced just by the ordinary things that she sees every day, but finding the joy and the magic in the ordinary things, which is exactly kind of my attitude to life too. So that's so cute. And look, hounds on the beach. I think, will it be in shot if I put it? Let's just scoot some bowls back. Oh yes, perfect for cards until I sort out a mantle. Now the other thing, and this made me laugh today, this arrived in the post. It's a bit of a long story, but I'm going to try and make it really short. I've had a bit of a nightmare with the P.O. box situation. As many of you know, because you've been asking over and over again. I don't mean that in a, I just mean often folk have been asking. Now, I had a P.O. box when I was in London. I paid for it at the beginning of November last year. It didn't work. No mail was getting through to me. It was after Christmas. And I got in touch and they said, oh my goodness, so sorry. Yeah, your mail is all at the sorting office for you. They just haven't been delivering it. And I said, well, I pay for the delivery part of the service. They said, we're so sorry. What we'll do is we'll start your account again from January. So you'll have a full 12 months until you next have to renew. The primary reason for having the P.O. box is because I have an online business, whether it's selling books and stuff from my shop, whether it's selling my sewn crafts, whatever it is. I have to have an address as a return address. And I didn't want to give my personal address out, so that's why I had it. Now, as we head towards, well, the problem with the move was, it was quite last minute in the end. I made some inquiries towards the end of February to say, when I move, can I move my P.O. box with me? And they weren't very sure. Got into March, I rang again, spoke to someone else, can I move my P.O. box with me? You know, like you have your home mail redirected when you move, and of course I set that up for my personal mail. In a nutshell, they said no, you can't have P.O. box mail forwarded. So are you joking? Well, I tell you what, I've got 9 months left on this contract. Can we cancel this and start a new contract and I'll just pay 3 months of a new contract and you give me those 9 months? No. I have to just trash your old box and buy a brand new box. So in other words, 2 P.O. boxes within the space of 3.5 months. They cost hundreds of pounds. But I didn't see any, it's like I have to have a P.O. box for my business. I'm just going to have to suck it up and you know, it's over £400 a year. So in other words, in January and then again at the end of March, that's £800. It's a business expense, so obviously I can set it against my tax and what have you, but even so, it's Anyway, so I got here and it's like, yes, set up the new box. And there was, I kept getting these emails back saying, you've already got a box in that name. And I was like, yes, but it's London and I want a new one. Okay, long story short, keep it short, Vivi. I did a little I forgot. This was a little, I got to Swanage and I put this in the post, addressed to my old P.O. box to see what would happen. And they have forwarded it. as part of my forwarding service. So it's like, well, maybe it would have worked, but they said it wouldn't work, but it has worked. Anyway, it's taken 14 days from posting it out of here to get to my PO box in London and find its way back. But what made me laugh, the card inside it, I completely forgot this bit. Just a plain card, I wrote it to myself. Hold on. That's what I wrote to myself. Happy new chapter, heaps of love, kiss, kiss, kiss. Thank you, Vivi. We'll take the heaps of love. Anyway, I mean, it's kind of bonkers that they have forwarded it. Now, talking of things being forwarded, I also had 2 pieces of post that were sent to London and they've made their way here. And this one, I laughed my head off when I opened it. Guess what I got? A 4th copy of Frida. Again, it came without any kind of label. So whoever you are, 4 people now have bought me a copy of Frida. Thank you, beautiful people. It's really appreciated. I haven't watched, it's 3 weeks today since I moved in my time. So it's April the 25th, I think. I haven't watched a single DVD. I haven't read a page of I've still got my Julia Child book on the go. There has been 0 time for sitting and doing nothing, but gradually working towards that. So I will be watching Frida soon. And then this lovely item, also with a card. Pretty, what's it called? I know the artist. Oh yes, of course, it's John Atkinson Grimshaw, Spirit of the Night. This is Leslie and Robert. Thank you both. Now this has taken 2 months to get to me. I forgot to look at the postage. Perhaps it was, are you Canada or the States? I think you're Canada. Oh, I can't remember. Yes, you're Canadian. I don't know, I should have looked at the stamp thing to see if you sent it by ship or by aeroplane, but thank you very much for a really sweet little book. It's The Townsman by John Sedges. We're going to have to work on this lighting. Better known as Pearl S. Buck, who I know a lot of you will know. It's got a lovely feel to it. The pages just want to fall open. When was it printed? 1945. I've got no idea whether it will be to my taste or not. No idea whatsoever. But it will be really sweet to tuck into it at some point. When I get to the point of having, having a day off and just having a beach day. Thank you. I won't take the DVD to the beach, but I might take the book. So thank you both, Frida DVD and the John Sedges. Thank you so much. I can't believe how long it took. If it came by a boat, which would be brilliant, then that's not too bad, because it came by boat, maybe, and went to London, and it's come from London now down to Dorset. It's come home. And then there's one more thank you before I show you this shopping delivery and a couple of notes about it. So a few videos back I mentioned I'd used some coffee money to buy. There are just small bits and pieces. So most of the coffee money, it's gone to buying half of the sofa. I've bought the other half. You can sit on one half and I'll sit on the other half. We can natter. We can have a little cuddle up, especially in the winter. We'll cuddle up and we'll watch a DVD together. But yes, there have been a few bits and pieces. The sofa isn't here yet, by the way. A few bits and bobs, other things I thought, oh, I could probably really do with that now. I am a grown-up. I've been on the planet for quite a long time, and if you'd said to me before I moved, is there anything you need for the new home? I'd have said, no, I have everything I could possibly need. Because like I said, I've been around for a while. But there have been a couple of things, the specifics, the loo brush, the squeegee. And this is another specific that is such a happy specific, because I have a back garden now. And the back garden goes out from my back door So I need something to wipe my paws on. Little back door mat. It's got a sort of a rubberized back so that it's it's non-slip, but it's jute, so it's nice. It just goes with my everything of like trying to find natural products and things that one day will, when it's tired and old, it can go in the compost bin. But I like it. I like the natural fibre. I like the kind of the neutral colour. But it'd be great just to pop it by the back door. Pop it on the floor for now. Yeah, just to I've got obviously those really old slippers that broke. They're by the back door for wearing in the garden, and it just means that little bits of dirt that come in, hopefully they'll get trapped on the doormat. And then hopefully by the summer, when I've cleaned the patio of all the weeds and stuff and I can brush the patio, when I come in, I'll be in bare feet. In bare feet, I will have bare feet. So when I come in, it'll just be a case of just wipe my bare feet on the mat so as not to track too much muck into the house. I don't care about mucking. I don't care about soil in the house, if I'm honest. I'm kind of a mucky girl. Right, this food delivery, oh my goodness, there's a mountain. So, who was it? One of you mentioned that they do some super cheap delivery slots. Because one of my thoughts had been that I kept thinking that I couldn't remember off the top of my head how much it used to be for me to get things sent to Auntie Teapot. But I was thinking in terms of it's going to be like £4 or £5. And someone mentioned these cheap slots. So I went on to Sainsbury's. I've gone for Sainsbury's in the end. I know their products. And I also know they do quite a lot of organic stuff. There's a lot of organic in this thing. So anyway, I went on the thing to open an account, to register for an account. And I looked at the, book your delivery slot. And they were all sort of £4 or £5. And I thought, that's really disappointing. But then I noticed there was a button and it was in bright orange and it said something like, book a delivery slot, and then in grey, but if you clicked on it, it went orange. It said saver slot, as in SAVER, saver. Saver slot. So I clicked on that and immediately it's like, wow, £2, £1.50, even a pound. Even at £1.50, that's cheaper than my old London buses. Here, a single fare is £3. It doesn't matter how far you go, it's £3. There's no bus stop near me. I'd have to walk past all the food shops to get to the bus stop. So that would... Anyway, the point is, delivery for £1, you can't even do that on a bus. So I thought, brilliant. And it seems to be that saver... So I'm mentioning this in case any of you have been a bit reticent about possibly doing a food delivery. I'm a convert already. It seems that the saver slot, it's slightly antisocial hours. So for example, and I'll come on to the hours in a second, and they're in 4-hour slots rather than 1-hour slots. So you don't get as much, you have to be a bit more flexible, you have to be in, etc. But the antisocial hours thing, or unsocial, one of the slots was 6 a.m. till 10 a.m. Thought, no way, that's antisocial to me. Even with my new adjusted sort of bedtime routine where I'm up, generally I'm up by 7:30. I thought, I'm not getting up at 5:30 in order to be waking up for food delivery at 6. It's just not me. It's not going to happen. So I picked the 7 p.m. till 11 p.m. slot. So again, I know for some people that would be the unsocial slot. Getting food delivered at 11, you want to be in bed long since then. I know for our Richard, he wouldn't want to be getting food at 11 at night. So that's the slot I picked, 7 till 11. And I thought, well, generally by that time of day, if I'm doing any running around outside, I'll have done it, so I'll be home. I thought, yeah, it's not an inconvenience to me at all. So I placed the order yesterday, at about, I don't know, 4 or 5 o'clock in the afternoon for 7 till 11 tonight. And then this morning by about 8:30, I had a text and an email to say, your food will be delivered between 7 and 8 p.m. So it did narrow it to a 1 hour slot. So I thought, I mean, that's great service. The delivery driver was lovely, brought it right into the flat for me. It didn't come in plastic bags, which was an afterthought of mine. I thought, oh, am I supposed to ask them not to bring it in plastic bags? But apparently they don't do plastic bags at all now. So note to self, for the next delivery, I need to have my granny trolley by the door so I can shove everything in it from the crates. You have to unpack the crate when it comes to the door. Shove everything in it so he can get off more quickly. But yeah, he brought it right into the flat. Honestly, it's such a great, and he was so nice and friendly and smiling. I said, it's my first time, you're my first ever one. He was lovely. So, oh, and the other thing to say about that slot for £1, it's only if you spend £40 or more. If you spend less than that, the delivery is more expensive. Now I've spent, it was about 50 in the end. Sorry, I should have looked on the computer. It was about 50 in the end, which is a lot of money for me to spend in one go on food. But this is store cupboard, it's the heavy stuff, and it's stuff that, this is going to last me, some of it's going to last months, some of it weeks. So store cupboard, and then I will continue to buy my fresh stuff locally because A, it gets me out and about, gets me seeing people. B, I like to feel my own fresh stuff. There are 2 fresh items I bought because I haven't seen either of these in Swanage as organic versions yet. I might find somewhere else. So I have bought 2 fresh items. I bought some mushrooms. They look nice. And I'm so glad I can now take this plastic stuff to my local co-op for recycling, so there'll be no waste from that. I'm going to put it all down here, and I also got some organic spinach. So they're the only 2 fresh things I bought. Then, right, let's tuck into this little lot. Reaching, oh my God, that's heavy. That is 2 kilos. This was really good in price. Oh, I don't have a receipt. If I do this again with the delivery, I can't print a receipt from my computer. I'll try to remember, I'll just jot it down, or some of the highlights. But this was really good value. It's 2 kilos, yeah, 2 kilos of lentils. So again, this is back to, I think it's the heavy stuff that I don't want to drag up the hill. Plus, I haven't seen 2 kilo bags of green lentils on sale yet. I've still got some more exploring to do, but I think all of this store cupboard stuff, I think it's just going to be delivery stuff from now on. And then I've got 2 kilos, each in a kilo sack of oats. Organic, jumbo organic oats. The lentils weren't organic. The Sainsbury's do green lentils, they do an organic one, but they're tiny packets. I might do it organically next time. It just works out so expensive when you buy the small packets, but the oats are organic and paper bags, so really easy to recycle. Then these aren't particularly heavy, but I think my order was slightly below 40, and then I thought, oh, I'll grab a couple more things. Oh, before you know it, it's 50. However, the other thing I did before I sat down before I actually went on the computer, I wrote down everything that I thought I would need. So that because you're kind of whizzing around the shop looking for different things, I could tick it off my paper list, sort of on my desk as I went, like, right, I've got that. And then at the bottom I had a few items that I'm happy to buy here, but I thought if I need to make the price up, I had a few ideas already. So these were in my make the price up bit. It's, again, it's organic, it's wholemeal, whole wheat pasta. I'm really excited because it's pasta tonight. I'm having my mushroom sort of bolognese and the pasta. It's actually getting it. I might not have it now. So it's gone 8. No, I might have a lighter supper and have the pasta for lunch tomorrow. So my other make up the cost, I bought some tahini. It's so often I've not bothered to make my own hummus because I don't have tahini, and I thought, oh, just get some tahini in, and then, I mean, that's good till March 27. How long does it last once you've opened it? Used within 5 weeks. You could refrigerate, I mean, I could try and freeze it though if I don't get it used in 5 weeks. But with the warm weather coming, I'm thinking, oh yeah, make my own hummus and just have it with, you know, bits of raw veg. I'm kind of starting to think now about lighter summery food. Right, now the rest is tins. So what did I get? Again, from their organic range. Cannellini, and it's the equivalent of a tin, so they're all in water. Someone brought this up once in terms of, I think I might have been talking about the fact that I use reduced salt stock, and they were like, oh, but what about all the salt in your chickpeas and your beans and stuff? No, I always buy my produce in just water. So cannellini beans. Cannellini beans, they're a small white bean. Red kidney beans. Cannellini, that's 2 of those. Cannellini. Cannellini. More red kidney, that's the organic ones. Then also in their organic range, how many did I get? I got some chopped tomatoes, 2, 3. I still have a couple left from that ethical superstore order. Is that it? Did I only get 3? Oh, I bought 3 tomatoes. I don't like odd numbers. And then I've got chickpeas. They don't have organic, but I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I've got 8. How many can I show you? Am I going to have an accident? I'll show you 6. And there's another 2. So I've got 8 tins. But that's what I mean about do a bulk buy of the heavy stuff. Get it so it's at 40 quid so I can get 1 pack. I cannot believe that service for £1. That's fantastic. Yeah, I'm really pleased with that. And then what else? All of that I got. Oh, there is another tin of tomatoes. I thought that was really odd. I wouldn't buy in odd numbers normally. It's part of my OCD. And then one of the last things, oh, again, they didn't have them in the organic, but I bought 2 tins of black-eyed beans and 2 tins of haricot beans, which are like the cannellini, but they're smaller. Haricot. So haricot beans, you can see from the illustration, they're what are used in baked beans, in case you're wondering. And then finally, Esther, I got a couple of tubes of tomato paste. I think the 2 tubes of tomato paste, the 2 bags of pasta and the tahini were the things I used to get it over the 40 quid mark. But again, it's organic. I haven't seen organic tomato paste locally, so I'm really pleased. I'm really pleased with that. That's a real big chunk of stocking up the pantry, as it were, and you know, with so much of it that I can get as organic, that really pleases me. That's important to me. I know it's not important to other people, that's fine. We each do what's important to us, don't we? That's all that matters. But more than anything, I'm really glad that I think that is heavy. I can't remember, I think I'd mentioned it in London at some point, hadn't I, about looking into, I know I talked about looking into veg boxes, etc. But generally just looking into having food deliveries here, although at the time you didn't know where I was moving to. So, you know, and so many of you encouraged and said, yeah, it's well worth it. Thank you. Like I say, I'm a complete convert now. It was so easy and quick online. I think the key to that is having your shopping list. I won't miss going shopping because I will still be going shopping for my fresh bits and bobs, so I'll still have that thing of just being out and about in town, and you know, I'm gradually getting to know a few faces, and at least to the point of being able to say morning, which is lovely. But to take the legwork out by having all this, all that legwork taken out of it for £1. And it's not like having all this food delivered, I'm suddenly going to become a hermit and never go out. Having this delivered would mean that tomorrow, if I want to go out and it's not a food shopping day, I'll go out unencumbered by the granny trolley. I'll just go out and have a nice walk, and maybe I'll have my backpack so that if I do need a few bits and bobs of groceries, pop it in my backpack. So I'm still, still got a hand free. Get out, enjoy myself without thinking about lugging all this lot. I love it. I'm a convert, and I love my little doormat. Thank you for whoever bought me, I think it was the equivalent of 2 coffees, the jute doormat. I think the other bits the other day, what was there? The loo brush, the squeegee, there was something else. The feather duster. I think they all totaled, I think they were the equivalent of about 8 coffees. So you can see where your coffees go. And all the other coffees, the sofa, which should be here in, I believe, delivery is due in about 10 days. So I'll show you that when it comes as well. Thank you. Books, DVDs, doormats and bog brushes. I love you. Thank you. Right, about to waffle. I need to put all of this stuff away now, find it a new home, and yeah, and think about, it's late for eating. Oh, it's 8:30 now. It's a bit too late for supper, certainly pasta supper. I will have something much lighter. I might just have a bit of soup or something. You don't need to know what I'm going to have for my supper, do you? I will see all of you really soon. I'm not sure what we'll be doing next. We might even be back in the garden because we're due some really nice weather, and I want to make the most of it during the daytime by working out there, and then whatever's going on in the evening. I know. I found a few more bits and bobs to get sewing. Yes, maybe we'll do that next time. Whatever we get up to, it'll be before too long, and I really look forward to seeing you then. But for now, yeah, I need to stop now. Until the next one, cheerio, lovelies.